Thanks for staying with us on SABC News. It's the breaking news of this hour. Embattled British Prime Minister Boris Johnson has resigned. He delivered a statement a short while ago. His key allies have resigned as ministers in his cabinet and have been urging him to step down. Let's get the latest on this. SABC News international editor Sophie Mukwena is in studio with us. A very short, to-the-point speech announcing his resignation, but he's still in the position for now.
Yes, indeed. He pointed out that he will only leave office when a new leader is elected. But there's a huge pressure from members of the parliament in UK and also from the opposition, the Labour Party, that he has to leave and leave now. And therefore, the Conservative must ensure that they do appoint someone who can handle the office. 10 Downing. But we'll see what happens this afternoon. This morning in the House of Commons, people were expressing their views, and members of parliament who were there were very scathing in terms of his track record, but also they are not buying the proposal that he must continue until the new leader is elected.
There have been a lot of scandals around Boris Johnson, and he has been ducking and diving and, some would say, escaping accountability up until this point. No apology from him in that statement when he announced his resignation.
Indeed, he was not willing to apologize. He feels he has done a lot. He feels the mandate he got when he was elected was overwhelming. That speaks to the confidence he brought into the party. If you look at the visuals, maybe our colleagues can bring those visuals now, a feed from Reuters. If we look at the people in UK right now, people are out in the streets. Maybe a sign that much as he feels that he has done well and he is not willing to apologize, the message, when you look at those visuals, I don't know whether we can pull the Reuters visuals to show our viewers what is happening right now. Can you please, yes, indeed, you can see many people in the streets demonstrating and perhaps celebrating his departure. And therefore, I don't think him not willing to accept that he did fail in some areas do justice to people of UK. You can see that there's that kind of relief. Even the markets, you saw the pound, how it has performed. You can see the markets in UK that they were really waiting for this message. There's no bloodbath at all.
There's an opportunity, I'm assuming then, for the Labour Party. As when Boris Johnson started speaking, he spoke about the mandate that the Conservative Party was given and really talked up the numbers around people who voted and gave the Conservative Party that mandate. Time for the Labour Party to shine, maybe.
The Labour Party was not doing well for years now, since the departure of the Prime Minister. Now, I think this is a moment for them to shape up, but I don't know whether the people in UK are still convinced in terms of perhaps considering to support Labour Party during the next elections. But I think this is a moment for Labour Party to shape up and also the leader of the Labour Party to be vocal in terms of what the party can offer. We know that during the House of Commons this morning, he was very vocal and clear that Boris Johnson must leave now. And I think many people in UK, not all of course, share the same sentiment. But we don't know whether the Labour Party will be able to revive itself to an extent that it can be considered as the next government.
And South Africa-UK relations, does this resignation do anything to those?
Not at all. South Africa is the largest economy on the continent. Number 2, it is Nigeria and South Africa. And therefore, no country can ignore South Africa at the global stage. No multilateral organization can ignore South Africa's voice. And therefore, much as Boris Johnson is leaving, I think it will be business as usual in terms of who is coming. You'd recall that at the G Summit, we saw him talking to President Ramaphosa, even asking President Ramaphosa to take off his jacket, him not having a jacket. I don't know whether that was a sign that he's, you know, when you take the jacket, take off the jacket, you relax, you home, you're done. I think maybe we didn't read that picture very well. But I think in terms of the person who's coming, it will be business as usual. South Africa is one country that you cannot ignore on the continent. And we know that we are members of the G20. As we speak, Minister of International Relations, Naledi Pandor, is in Indonesia, part of ministers who are preparing for the G20 summit for heads of state and government before end of July.
SABC News international editor Sophie Mukwena weighing in on the resignation of British Prime Minister Boris Johnson. We just saw that's the breaking news of the hour. Mduduzi Mtembu is standing